Welcome back to another episode of Shipping Scrapple. This is where we talk about new features and general remote photo tidbits that are really too good and too tasty to just throw out. So I'm Moose, I'm Director of Customer Success, and today we are joined by...
I am Ryan Hethkett. I'm the Principal Security Engineer here at CloudCard. That means I am writing code and also thinking about how we keep our organization secure, making sure our vendors are secure, making sure our application is secure, and that we take good care of the data you trust us with.
So Ryan, email validation is going to be our topic.
I feel like it's worth giving a bit of technical background just to explain, like, email is a tricky thing. You know from your email inbox, there are a lot of spammers out there who want to send you anything and everything. And the big companies in this world that help pass emails around, they do a lot of work to try to minimize the amount of junk you get in your inbox.
Yes.
Part of that is like they keep score on any person who sends, or any entity that sends email in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So that creates this problem that I've experienced firsthand earlier in my career, where if you own your own email sending server, you're going to have a hard time keeping the reputation good if anyone ever sends a couple of bad emails from it. So we don't send our own emails. We contract out the actual sending of emails and the managing of the server reputation to Amazon.
Yes.
Amazon is who sends our emails. Now they, in turn, need to make sure that we're not going to abuse their platform. So they implement reputation requirements on us. We have to make sure that we're not sending out bad emails. So in turn, we kind of have to keep an eye on our customers.
Mm-hmm.
And our customers, wonderful people, they're not trying to mess anyone up.
And so email validation is simply making sure all of the email addresses in that bulk action or any email you put into your organization is valid. We actually ran into a series of how would we describe them, Ryan? Events, incidents?
Yeah, I think we can use the word incident. We had a couple of incidents where a customer uploaded several thousand emails that were not valid. Occasionally, someone makes a mistake and imports a bunch of email addresses that didn't already exist in their Exchange server, or whatever the reason may be.
Sure.
In order for us to make sure we're not abusing Amazon in that situation, we have to have something in the middle that checks, is this email address valid, before we try to go send an email to them.
Yes. So really quick, what we've done to basically prevent email, further email incidents is we've employed the use of a sub-processor. In this case, we're employing a sub-processor that is called Zero Bounce.
With Zero Bounce, it's a different kind of exchange where we're taking just an email address, no additional metadata, sending it off to Zero Bounce. Zero Bounce is looking at it, checking it against a couple of allow listed databases, maybe potentially trying to log in and just say, hey, can I send email to this address? And some email servers will say yes or no. So that's all they're doing. They're not handling or storing any of our data. They're just, we send them an email address, they send us back yes or no. So they are technically a sub-processor, because data we have received from our customers, that is sensitive data to our customers, we're sharing it with someone else. So we have to tell our customers, hey, we've got the sub-processor, we checked them out, they're doing the right things to be secure. And this is how we're sharing data with them.
Yeah.
And then all they're doing is processing the information and giving it back to us.
We have these sub-processors within Remote Photo that we are using them. Each of those is named in our trust center.
We want to give our customers the opportunity to, check things out, make sure we're doing what we should be doing to keep your data secure.
Yeah. So in this case, whether it's one email address that goes in or it's a CSV bulk action, really what it does is the ones that are valid by Zero Bounce, they're allowed to set up an account in Remote Photo and emails go out. Any emails that do not pass validation, the email address is recorded in Remote Photo and the email address is automatically unsubscribed so that there's not a bad email. We know a bad email could go out to this address. So zero bounce basically allows us to put the email address in your organization's account, but not send an email to it.
Yeah. And I think everything you said, exactly right. And I think building on that, that enables you to say like, okay, I'm going to import all these people, might get a few errors like, oh, why did that email address not pass validation? You can go
Mhm.
follow up with IT, say, hey, like, has this inbox been created? Or you realize, oh, I jumped the gun in the onboarding flow. I imported the CSV a day earlier than usual. Okay, that's why this happened. I know that IT is going to provision the email
Right.
inboxes, and then we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
I guess that means the next question is, how do we fix that? Like, how do I, as a customer, I've gotten all these emails that have been unsubscribed, how do I resubscribe them
Sure.
when I know that the email inboxes are ready to receive emails?
From a support side, I could see a card office, hey, we just uploaded, 1,000 email addresses, and will it show up as a report? Does it come through in their bulk action report?
If you happen to have a bulk import that you could, like a demo bulk import that you could show on the screen.
Sure. All right. So, Ryan, I have here our sample CSV set up to go into an organization, email identifier, and this particular organization has a custom field set for full name. I'm going to not send any emails out. I'm going to create or update for people. And then mapping, we have email address, we have ID number, and then we have full name for this group of cardholders.
Cool. Looks good. And then that's going to hit the queues and
just wait a moment. So
cool. Very good. Okay, so you have results now, or you can just scroll down to the bottom of the page. And you can see there, example.com doesn't pass email validation because that email domain doesn't exist.
yeah, if an organization is putting in a dummy email address, like a placeholder email address on purpose, because they have the people in their office, or at the end of the day, the photo's being saved by ID number.jpg.
Well, and you have you could have an API integration where it's like you look up like your onboarding system makes a call out to our API, says, hey, here's the user I have. Can you give me a login link for them? You put that login link into the onboarding portal and they log in. They never get an email. Like that is a workflow that works for some of our customers. Obviously, there's some custom development involved because you've got to be able to reach out to the API. Yeah, there's different reasons why someone would want to be able to import people who don't have a valid email address. So that's why, it's not an error. We need to import, create the user, but we will unsubscribe them if we get that error.
So, Ryan, this is actually really cool because in my bulk action results, so this does answer the question. How do we inform the card office that basically you've run into an issue with email validation? And so we do see it here. It doesn't show up as an error, but we do see that there's a message that there's an unvalidated, okay? And when we talk about being unsubscribed from emails, the status unsubscribed from welcome emails, that's what we're referring to when we talk about a group.
If you go to one of the other users, sorry, I just interrupted.
No,
that wasn't helpful. But if you go to one of the other users, like your NMHO2, if you go in there, he's going to have that unsubscribe checkbox is going to be unchecked.
That's right.
His email is valid.
Yep, valid, passed muster, and that email was sent. So the two ways that we let the card office know is through the report. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not an error, and it's specifically not an error because for some organizations it's a purposeful workflow. So, but we do let you know that the account has been created and it was automatically unsubscribed because the email did not validate. So when your bulk action is finished, you do also get your bulk action results. You see the file name of the CSV you uploaded. You're told that there's 10 of them were successful, but there was an invalid count of 5. So there were 10 accounts created, but 5 emails were sent out, 5 were not sent out because they had an invalid email count.
That's correct.
This is, I think, super helpful. And, this is as our product grows and the needs of our customers are like, they're growing, they're changing, but we are still heavily relying on security, heavy towards compliance. And we want to make it just a great user experience. And so for us, we vetted Zero Bounce. We found it to be a valid solution for this need. And we've put it into remote photo.
And I would like to speak for us just a brief moment to what you said about security and compliance. We did evaluate another email bounce validation provider that would have been cheaper. And when we attempted to look through their security documentation, it didn't meet our standards.
Sure.
So we ended up going with Zero Bounce because we looked at their SOC 2 report. It checked out, like, there's a series of things that we look through when we're evaluating a vendor that we want to see in the SOC 2 report.
Yeah.
And all of those things checked out and met our standards. So like that's part of how we look at compliance when we're going to send data to a sub-processor. We want to make sure that they're going to do what they're supposed to keep that data secure.
For an organization, from their standpoint, really the only thing that's going to change, there is no extra steps. This is working in the background. There is notification if an email is not valid, what happens to it. So, you can reach out to support. We'll definitely coach you through that. One of the things, Ryan, is this does not interrupt anybody's current workflow, to my knowledge, and it adds a level of security, and it's at no cost right now to the customer. Like we needed to put this in, and we needed to do it fairly quickly. I think we've done a really good job on getting out in front of customers and notifying them, but we needed to act quickly as a company and as an organization for all of our customers. And I think this was a great call. And I appreciate you even bringing up, like, hey, there were cheaper solutions. If we were just looking to check a box, we could have checked that box, but we want to be transparent. We want to be the best we can be. We want to guard our customers. And at the end of the day, we want this to be a great experience. Yeah.
So like one customer's mistake knocks out email sending for everybody.
Yes.
For however long it takes us to reassure AWS that we're not going to abuse their services.
Right.
So this system gets us on the front end. It's an AWS best practice to do email validation. And so this makes sure that, if you make a mistake as a customer, you're not going to take down the service for everyone.
That's right.
We don't want you to feel that pressure.
Yeah, there's definitely a safety net component to this. Well, Ryan, thank you so much for taking some time to kind of chat through this with us. It definitely fits the shipping Scrapple, model of what we want to communicate with our customers. And Ryan, I enjoy working with you a ton. Appreciate your work in security for our customers in remote photo, and just a good colleague overall. I enjoy having you around, man.
Thank you. Same to you, Moose.
Thank you.